Hey friends, it's Jill here with the Hometown Homestead, and we set off on a crazy adventure yesterday to pick out a chicken coop and to bring it home because our little ladies are starting to get quite the feathered look and needing a place to stay. So we had recently decided that we wanted to look into chicken tractors or mobile coops so that we could push them all around the house. And we actually looked at the possibility of building one, but with my husband's work schedule and everything that we have going on between 5 nights a week of baseball at this point, we just decided that it would be best if we did not build our own coop at this point. What we decided to do was take our crew down to a place about 45 minutes away and take a look at the ones that they had out. They actually have aluminum built coops that are all welded together. They have the space cut in the back where the nesting boxes are going to go, and they have a really nice tarp to go over the top. This is something that we will be able to winterize once we need to for the fall season or for the winter. So we are looking forward to using this year round and being able to move our chicks about. This will allow us to keep them on new grass and to continually work toward replenishing our soil at the house wherever we have them moved. We can put them out in the back fields if we want, or we can bring them up close. So it's going to be a really nice way for us to put them wherever we need them and to have nothing permanent so that we can kind of feel out what we want and make sure they're right where we want when we want them. So we went down to look at all of these coops, and there are 4 different sizes. And one of them went all the way up to 50 chicks, which we definitely don't need. I know they say chicken math is a real thing, but Lord help me if I have 50 chickens. We do live in town, so that would not work out very well. So we went with one of the smaller versions. We looked at several of the smaller coop options. They had a 4x6 coop and they had a 5x7. The 5x7 would have actually worked, but I didn't like the fact that the roosts in it were round, and I've heard that flat are going to be better for their feet long term. Plus, I couldn't actually walk in that 5x7 coop, whereas I could walk in the 8x10. There was a little bit of an issue with the way that we were going to get the coop home, which I will show you as it turned out. The 8x10 was actually a little bit wider than our trailer. So we were able to get that accomplished. We went with the 8x10 coop, and the people that we purchased it from are actually building the box, the nesting box, so that I can go back and get that in a couple days. It is a rollout box to where the eggs will come out the back, so we won't actually have to go in or have muddy eggs. So hopefully this is a combination of all of the things that we have in mind that will work out really, really great for our crew. When it came time to get the coop up on the trailer, what we did was we lifted it up and set it on the outside edges of the spare tire that comes with the trailer itself. That allowed the coop to not shift side to side because that took up the extra space that we actually needed in order to keep it stable. We had some straps with us, but we didn't have quite the ones we were looking for. So the gentleman at the store where we purchased it was kind enough to go to his house and bring out a couple extra straps. So we are actually going to be taking those back when we go down on Wednesday to actually pick up the nesting box. But it was a really, really nice way to get the coop all the way home and safe. Our next hiccup came when it was time to get the thing off the trailer and into our backyard. We have a gate that we can access our backyard through really easily, but it's only a 9-foot gate. And this was a little bit over 8 feet to get through. So we were just a little bit worried about the tightness since we had the coop actually setting off of the trailer just slightly. So what we decided to do was my husband and I, along with our oldest son, helped to lift the coop up off of our trailer and get it down. And then my husband, along with the kiddos, were able to push it down our back hill and up and get it back into the backyard where we have it set. We currently do not have the top on the coop because that made it easy for it to travel home. And we also don't want to put the lid on just yet because our chicks aren't going to be moving in there for about another week or so. So we didn't want all the grass underneath to get dried out any more than they already are because we are suffering right now with loss of rain, or lack of rain, I should say. So having the lid on wasn't going to help our grass very much. So we decided to leave it off for a bit. Once we got the coop in place in our yard, we went and grabbed our chicks and we put them in a plastic tote just to bring them out back and go ahead and place them into the coop itself to see what their first experience on grass would be like. We watched them to make sure that they weren't too hot or they weren't too cold. And once they started to huddle under the shade, we did go ahead and move them back in to where they had the warmth of their brooder space inside. They loved the grass, which was actually a lot of fun for the kids. We all hung out in there for quite a bit of time before we decided to bring them back in. But the chickens themselves loved it. One of my little guys went and dug up a worm to bring them, which they thought was lots of fun. So it was a great experience to take them outside. We're anxious to see how we love this coop and what it looks like once they're all big enough to be out in there full time. But for now, our beautiful chicks have a new space to call home. With this coop being aluminum, it is really light, and to get it moving, we just have to flip those wheels over that elevates the coop just slightly off the ground, and then we're able to move it along to their newest space. So that is the update on our chicks. They are super happy, they are healthy, and they're growing really, really well. If you're interested in following along more with what our chicks look like as they age, as well as how our transition goes to being out on the grass, make sure to subscribe and hang out, because we love having you guys along for the ride. So thanks for stopping by the Hometown Homestead. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you back soon. We got crazy donuts.
We got donuts for the trip home.
Oh, I love it.